2005, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Yo guys, Yoshi. In today's video, we're going to discuss every method to getting both ray guns. And yes, that's right, having the ray gun and ray gun Mark II. These clips in the beginning here are just for context, and or I wanted to see if I could make the anti-cheat system where Samantha would take everything. So Darian grabbed Quick Revive and he already had Quick Revive, so I'm like, nothing happened. So then I wanted to try it with this, with Who's Who, and Who's Who works differently, which you will soon see in this video, because a little heads up, Tombstone and Who's Who are both methods to getting both ray guns. So yeah, I always thought Who's Who was the weirdest perk, because like your doppelganger looks no different, as you could see on viewing Darian. The doppelganger isn't glowing or anything when he spawns in, so that's kind of weird. So the first one is wall buying the Olympia to get ray gun perma perks. So basically just get ray gun Mark II from the box, and then make sure you're one of these ranks. If you have more than 3 tallies on those ranks, this will not work. And you have to make sure to be online once you make sure of all 3 of those steps. Basically, just go ahead, buy the Olympia, and keep buying ammo, and eventually you will get it. You're probably wondering to yourself, Josh, why didn't we get it? Well, that is because we were both like max rank. Well, Darian is the second to last rank. Yeah, this also works on Diaries and or Transit, because obviously the perma perks work on all 4 of those maps. But yeah, we didn't do it because I didn't want to spend money just on this clip to spend money to make a new account, Xbox Live, and then to do that. So I'm sorry that I didn't show this, but this does work. This does work if you follow those 4 steps, I think. The online, rank, buy ring of Mark II, and keep buying the Olympia, that. Alright, so the next one is Tombstone Soda. So basically, just go ahead, buy Tombstone Soda, down yourself. So very important to follow. You have to down yourself with only 1 weapon. So make sure, so whatever ray gun you get from the box first, keep it, pack your other gun. You will only have ray gun. Once you respawn in, use the box. You have 90 seconds to get the other ray gun you need, pack the other gun you have, so that when you grab Tombstone, you have ray gun Mark II, and when you died, you had ray gun. So then you will end up having both weapons, as seen there. So yeah, that was weird though. Did you see that? I had both 1911s. That's how I know this would work. This is context right here, this little footage, a little bit of context, because this is going to be kind of confusing to a lot of people. So this next method, the Who's Who method, is basically when you use Who's Who and you spawn in as your doppelganger, it's basically like a fresh start. So what I mean by that is, so you buy Who's Who here, just like this, and then you get the ray gun Mark II from the box, or ray gun depending on what one you get. You down yourself, and what's funny about this is when you're in Who's Who, you can get the ray gun and or ray gun Mark II in the box, and basically all you have to do is revive yourself when the ray gun or ray gun Mark II or whatever ray gun you needed from the box. Yeah, this is kind of difficult to do. So yeah, so basically what I mean is, when you use the box here, let's just say you had the ray gun when you went down, which I did. Let's just say that was ray gun Mark II. When you revive yourself like this, you see how this is going? You switch and pretend that was ray gun Mark II, and just like that, you would have both ray guns. And you only have enough time until you bleed out to do that, so yeah. Alright, next method is method number 4. Now, this method is very cool, because this method involves nothing really. It just involves you using the box multiple times, and yeah. So that's it. This is the simplest way. This is the very simplest way. It's really cool that they did this, because I always didn't like it how you couldn't. Yeah, so this only works on Classified and Blood of the Dead. I'm very confused why it was only you could only do this on, well, no, you'll see very soon why on Alpha Omega you're not allowed to have both ray guns. So yeah, so those are the only methods that I could find. So here are all the failed methods I thought would work. Now this one, so first get ray gun or ray gun. First get the ray gun or ray gun Mark II, then have your friend hack the other ray gun that you need. Now this was very weird what happens here. Watch very closely what happens. Now I always find strange things. Let's watch. The ray gun just disappears. You're allowed to grab it, but it's gone. That's so weird. That was like the weirdest thing ever. So then I'm like, alright, let's try the opposite. Let's get the ray gun first, and then the Mark II. Now, keep in mind, this took us like hours to actually get to happen. So, as you could see, Darian's secondary was the ray gun, and he grabbed the ray gun Mark II with the brecci out. So he should have had the other ray gun, and ladies and gentlemen, that did not work either. So that kind of frustrated me a bit. So what you're about to see here is I turned off everything in the box except for pistols and specials. So I used this box literally like 80 to 100 times. It wouldn't give me both ray guns, and you'll see exactly why it didn't give me both ray guns, and that is because there are other you know, I'm getting like ahead of myself, talking way too fast. Since there are other ray gun variants, like the ray gun Mark II variants, that is kind of the main reason why you're not allowed to have both ray guns. So yeah, I must have used the box about 100, 200 times with only pistols and the secondaries there and stuff. So yeah, so first I'm like, okay, let's try with a variant. Can I have two things there? Yeah, that didn't work either, so that was kind of frustrating right there. So yeah, you all know that I have to pack this because this is a Kimbolos, which is weird because look at when it pops out, it doesn't show a Kimbo, but this is like, listen. Sorry if I talked over it. I'm sorry if I talked over it and stuff, but I had to do this. I had to do this akimbo. So then I'm like, okay, let's try grabbing the ray gun Mark II here. Look what it says there. You only may have one ray gun. So the weird part about this is, yeah, the ray gun and ray gun Mark II, they're both considered like variant. Ray gun normal is considered a variant, which is weird. So this is about maybe 1 or 2 steps into the Easter egg. I'm not going to discuss these steps like leading up to this. So basically when you get to this step in the Easter egg, when you have to kind of write down the codes and stuff like this, and then figure out what codes and stuff, yeah, like yada yada yada. Yada yada, you get to this point of Easter egg. So when you enter the code in this room, the command room here, the ray gun will be able to grab free ray gun off the wall. And as you could see, that didn't work either. And this room, I think, is either E or F that I was in. So when you enter E or F time code, that'll open to get the free ray gun Mark II. So the final method that we tried was Darian using the box and letting me grab the ray gun. The normal one, the one I needed. So again, I turned off everything so this would go a lot quicker. It wouldn't allow me to grab it. It's so weird. I'm like, really? I'm like, you're kidding me. So I'm like, all right, let's try the other method. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, this is a combination of like 15 to 20 hours of filming and stuff to get this all working and stuff. So yeah. I hope you guys give me some love, some likes, because this took for frickin' ever to film and put together. So again, I'm like, really? I'm like, you're kidding me. So, yeah, this was a really weird video, so thanks for watching. Just like always, peace. Toasting them. Listen. Adios, mother.
Yeah! I take this und perfects the tale of sorrow I weave. I weave.